Okay, so this is my mom. She owns a catering business. And so, Mom, tell me about your business philosophy.
My business philosophy is to serve the customer to the best of my ability and make sure that their experience of dining or whatever event we're planning is the best that it could possibly be. We go the extra mile and really pay attention to all the little details to make certain that the customer is happy.
And why did you go into business?
I went into business really initially just to make some extra money. I started when the girls were little, and I was not wanting to work full time, so I started working part time for the church, doing meals for them, and it really just grew into a business because I had a lot of referrals that kept asking me to do other things.
And what were the challenges of having your own business?
Well, there are a lot of challenges. Time management was one of the biggest ones because in catering, there's always a schedule to keep, and a lot of different factors impact that schedule. So, what I would do is really start at the end and plan backwards from what had to happen up until the very last minute. Um, Financing was always a challenge, managing cash flow, because often you would get paid a deposit on a wedding that would be a year from now. And um, managing the money and also the people sometimes were challenging because they're very emotional when they're dealing with weddings and special events. They think that their event is really the only thing happening on the planet, and everything should be focused on that. So, and that's true to some extent. So, it's challenging to manage people's emotions, especially with weddings. Um, what else? Of course, managing people is also challenging because when people work for you, a lot of times they bring their personal issues to work. And because I'm a compassionate person, sometimes I would let that line be crossed where I would try to help them um, in ways that didn't have anything to do with their work.
What are the positive aspects of being a business owner?
Well, it's um, it's fun to put your mark on something and to do a service or make a product that people appreciate and enjoy for the value of it. And it's also enjoyable to be independent, to have the freedom of owning your own business. That's positive. It can also be a negative, but for the most part, that's positive. Um, being in control of the final product and really being able to put your mark on something, that's probably one of the greatest assets of being a business owner.
And was it regular enough business to support your family?
Yes, I did very well. My best year, we did close to 200,000 in sales, and at one time, I had 12 employees and really worked all over town. Yes, it was full time. I worked 7 days a week. In fact, that's one of the reasons I've slowed down and backed away a little bit, is because I was working all the time and not having enough time with my family.
And what are your plans for the future?
Plans for the future? Well, we've moved into a new market, and obviously the market has changed for catering in the last few years. So we do a lot more corporate business now, and we don't do as many weddings because of the time frame that's involved in a wedding, and just all the details. We've adjusted our marketing to really approach more corporate business so that it's during normal business hours for the most part, instead of having to work so many weekends and nights. Catering is really planning events that often are occurring when most people are are not working, and so that would be evenings and weekends, and that's another challenge of the business is the time that you have to put into it to make the event happen often gets into your personal time, so that line gets blurred. But we're excited about the future, and as Laura's dad used to always say, there's always a market for quality. So when you do a good job and you produce a good product, you will always be successful.
Okay, well, thanks, Mom.
You're welcome.